how to long or short Bitcoin, okay? What does longing or shorting mean? What does that mean? Well, the cool thing about a chart, we'll look at the BUSD KuCoin chart. I don't think I've drawn on every other exchange's chart because I have so many different ones. Oh, there is one. There's my cup and handle. And honestly, there's nothing really different. This cup and handle could actually still be valid. Look at that, like a little bit of a bugle, but so here, what is shorting? Shorting is when you know that the price is going to go down. So what you do is you can, on a lot of exchanges, right? On a regular exchange that we trade on, like KuCoin and stuff, you have to use perpetual swaps, derivatives, which is leverage trading, which I highly kind of, like I want people to learn how to spot trade for up to 2 to 3 years before they begin to leverage trade. I don't want to say you can't leverage trade. I just suggest that it's something that it takes a lot of time. For instance, like I made a good amount researching coins that I really liked and going after things that I thought were strong. And because of that, I felt like I would have wasted a lot of time on futures. I did trade futures. In 36 hours, I turned $100 into $700, and a lot of people want to trade futures because they use a small amount of money. This would be a whole longer idea, but in futures, you can buy, right? You have a buy button, and you also have a sell short, and it says sell short button. And so what you do, when you short a market, this is what you're doing. You are buying, okay? You're basically borrowing shares you don't have, okay? At a lower price. So you're basically saying, I would like, basically, right, to buy Bitcoin, okay, at 56K. All right. But I want to sell it right now at 60K. So what you're telling the market is, let me sell Bitcoin at 60,000 right now. Okay? And then when it goes down to 56K or whatever, 50K, right? Let's just say I'm going to buy it back and then I'm going to pay you back, okay, the shares. And because I bought it at 56, right, I'm going to be able to keep the difference, or 58, I'm going to be able to keep the difference between the high at 69. So it goes to 69, you short it, right? You're telling the market, I know it's going to go down, so I'm going to sell you Bitcoin right now at 69,000, knowing that I can buy it back at 60,000, right? All right. So I'm going to sell you basically. So basically you borrow, this is what you do. You borrow from the exchange and they give you Bitcoin and you sell it. But now you owe Bitcoin back to the exchange. So say you sell 2 Bitcoins at $69,000. Now you're going to owe 2 Bitcoins back. The problem was this, and this is what they call a short squeeze. So these shorters, they'll do this, right? So they'll all owe a bunch of Bitcoin back to the man, right? They'll owe their position back, whatever it is. If they buy 2 Bitcoins, they owe 120 grand. And these guys some of these dudes doing millions of dollars. Millions. A lot of them are whales. So they'll be up in here, and then what will happen is Bitcoin will dip a little bit. They'll add to the position, thinking they're smart, like this. Then it will reverse hard. And they'll all get really scared because once they get here, they're like, oh my God, like every time it goes up, they're going to have to pay more because once they make the sell, that's the number they can grab the Bitcoin to pay back. So once it keeps going up, now not only have to pay back the Bitcoin, but now they have to even use more of their own money. And now they're going into debt. And that's what a short squeeze is. And they all have stop losses here just in case. All right, if it hits this level, I'll get out of the trade. And when Bitcoin rips up, it hits all these stop losses. And they have to buy Bitcoin back to save their butt. So they all start buying. The people shorting the market become the ones that are buying into the market, and they create the frenzy to the upside. That's what a short squeeze is. So when everyone's like, oh, there's a short squeeze in Bitcoin, what they're telling you is the shorters are forced to buy because they're so scared now they're going to get rocked. And that's what happened to GameStop. That's the whole thing. When everyone was like, GameStop, a giant hedge firm took billions and shorted the market on GameStop. Now, there was other hedge funds behind it that were actually longing, and they destroyed this hedge fund and took it to the ground. They tried to blame it on the people. They said it was all the people doing that. There was no way. Too many people could not have done that. It was definitely hedge funds behind it. You can watch a whole story on this. The retail did jump in, and they tried to take credit for it. And, to their extent, they definitely added insult to injury, and it didn't make it easier for the shortstop to stop. But these dudes just had to cover calls knowing that they were just going to get buried. And eventually they hit liquidation points in bankruptcy. And they took out an entire hedge fund based on the shortstop of GameStop. So that's the GameStop story. That's what happened. And so I'm explaining basically what happens in the market. So what we hope for is a reverse in Bitcoin now too, because a lot of people are going to start shorting. What we want to do is we want to keep the narrative up that there's a bear market in play, and this is a double top. Like, we kind of want them to think that, right? So we want to be like, yeah, double top for sure. Like, it's going down to 22K, because what will happen is they'll all open huge longs. And thing is, shorters are more stubborn than long traders, in my humble opinion. Like, they want to be right more. A long guy is like a happy guy wanting to ride up. A short is like, oh, I'm going to show this market. I know what's up. Like, so they're more of like the pain in the ass type of traders, in my humble opinion. Guys that short more. You know, no one likes a short seller, man. You know what I'm saying? I'll short the market by all means. Don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid to make money. I'll do whatever it takes as a trader, as a hustler. But when it comes down to it, the majority of my money is made buying bear markets and watching them rip faces off the short sellers. So I love watching short sellers get liquidated. It's my favorite thing to do in my whole life. You know, it's like in my group, we have Whalebot Wrecked, and I can watch when they get rocked, and I just love tracking it. And it's like, I'm talking millions of dollars. They're getting rocked every second. And it's not fun to watch people make money, to lose money. I'm not saying that. But, you know, it's like they're shorting my livelihood. Like, I mean, I have my majority of net worth in Bitcoin, so they're shorting the crap out of me. Like, I got to get happy when I see them get rocked. Like, you know, it is what it is. So, excuse me there. So that's short selling in a nutshell. Now, how do you short sell, right? I tend not to try to teach that. When I do short, I'll show you how I short right now. I go to Bitcoin, BTC, 3S, okay, which is 3 short on KuCoin. And this is how you can short Bitcoin, all right? And so you suggest that Bitcoin will pump to the upside based on this idea. So you can see this double bottomed, and we could have traded this short. So when Bitcoin dumped, you could have traded this, like, basically this falling wedge here. Or actually an inverted head and shoulder too, but we'll see. Like, see this? And it was low on the daily. Look at the 1 hour better, smaller time frame. And you can see, look, shoulder, head and shoulder, and then it broke to the upside. So you could have played this inverted head and shoulder, and as Bitcoin dumped to the downside, this will pump. So as Bitcoin goes bad, this gets better. And this makes you money. And you can actually, the thing about this is you don't have to do what I just taught you and talked about with short selling. You can basically, this is basically a long trade on the 1 hour. So like this is bullish right now, sad to say, right? The 1 hour is low, right? So sad to say, it looks like, you know, and again, if Bitcoin can't break that inverted head and shoulder on the 15-minute time frame, then we're in for some pain. So I basically am watching the 15 minutes. So what you can do is you can have 2 screens on. You flip them open. You have the 3S, which is the short. This is the short for Bitcoin. It says you're going to make 25%. Not too shabby, too. Nice gains, right? If you shorted BTC. And then we go to the 15-minute here, right? And when we look at the 15-minute, we take a look here and we just kind of watch this inverted head and shoulder. And if this thing slaps out on us, you know what I'm saying? But falls down on us and doesn't hold. You see? If this doesn't hold its position and this neckline gives way, which is so far kind of not really showing signs of too much heart, you know, then it's yeah, I mean, we're looking at that, at this kind of this bear pennant kind of falling back down and then dropping to the downside again. So we keep these both open. When I see this start to jump, I would jump into this short, So to my Patreons, we're watching Bitcoin very closely. This is only way I could really play it for the day right now. If I had to make a trade, I like to sit on the sidelines, but if I had to make a trade, I'm looking at Bitcoin 3S, which is a short for Bitcoin on the KuCoin exchange. It gives you 3x leverage on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes down 7%, you'll make 21%. So if Bitcoin goes down 8%, which is about the measured move here, which is the length of the pole, and then we swing that over, and we look at the price range here, And that brings us all the way down. That's about a 4% move. So if Bitcoin drops 4%, we'll end up getting 12% out of this play here on the left side, right? This is a long play. You can play it just like a bull play. Like it's a bullish play. Look, oversold on the 1 hour, looking good, right? Oversold on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour too. 1 hour's oversold. 15 minutes coming up. It's doing that sideways move, but the 1 hour wants to rip. You take a look at the 4 hour. It shouldn't because Bitcoin's low on the 1 hour. So this should be just a quick little dip. And that's telling you Bitcoin will get back to business on the 4 hour and the daily too. So we're watching this really, really closely. The 15-minute really is going to be the chart, in my humble opinion, that's going to give me the most information to make the decision faster than most other traders. So we're going to be watching this very, very closely. Thank you so much for being a Patreon. I'll keep you up to date. And yeah, I'll be keeping you up to date throughout the day. And I love you all. Thank you so much for your support, your love, and for calling yourself Crypto Lifers.